Did you know that an average watermelon contains over 90% of water? I can teach you how to grow your own watermelon and juicy watermelon this summer. Today, I'll guide you through the essential steps to grow your own juicy watermelons right at your backyard. You can imagine this. Many people struggle to grow watermelons due to environmental factors and also due to poor improper planting techniques. So today we'll be guiding you through these all factors about which is the proper environmental factor to consider and also which is the proper technique to consider when growing your own juicy watermelons. So today on this video we will cover with you and we share with you the proper condition or the proper ideal condition which you select through number one, soil selection, which is the best soil for you to grow the watermelons. Number two, seed selection. This is the major problem that always people deal with. Number four, the proper watering techniques. Join me as I take you through the challenge of growing my own juicy watermelon. But my big question is, will I succeed? Or my garden will turn into a watermelon wasteland? Don't forget to subscribe, like, share, and leave a sweet comment about this video. And also comment down below what you think about this video. Farming is not only farming, but also doing more of researches. Starting from where you are, you have to do some researches, taking good care of your crops. By keeping an eye out of the pests and diseases, you can also take a quick action to prevent them from spreading. This is by doing some more researches, googling, seeing, and writing down which is the best part for you to start about this. It's my telling, right? Sometimes it's very stressful. You have to quench yourself. Ask yourself, in this point, will I grow the bountiful crop of a juicy watermelons or not? So you sit down at the moment, write all the questions about you see on your land. Come do some more researches about this before going or heading to the land. This you do it very regularly so that you can do a very good tool of catch of the potential problems early before they spread. So every morning I have to wake up and take out my motorbike, clean it before heading to our farm. So this is a very morning routine every single day of my life right now since I started doing farming. So it really motivates me mostly when heading to the farm in the morning, and this really makes me feel so much better. So I just put on my glasses, ignite my motorbike, put on my protective gears, and then I set off to the farm. Sometimes you don't want even to waste a single minute because this is the moment you're heading up to check on the plants. You can't just say good morning, good afternoon, good evening of everything. Right now we're heading off, setting off to our land, so we'll be able to see you on the next side of our land. Now we just arrived on our land, and this is where we have grown our variety of watermelon, that is Sukari F1. There are so many major challenges that farmers face while choosing to grow the watermelon. There's some factors, challenging factors. Factor number one, it might be the environmental factor. Number two, which of the main challenge is the soil. So number one is where a farmer failed to prepare a very nice place of the soil, measuring its pH and sharing on what kind of variety can do better. If your soil lacks such nutrients, then your watermelons might not grow as expected. So for you to avoid this, make sure that you really do what you call like prepare your soil well and measure your soil toward the pH and amend it if what is necessary. So for that you'll avoid another common very common mistake is choosing watermelon seeds. That's the major problem actually. So there are some seeds that are very suitable for certain conditions and certain climate or certain environmental factor. So make sure when you're choosing your seeds or your watermelon seeds, you are better to choose seeds that are better suitable for your soil pH and suitable for the environment that you are really growing on, for you to avoid a lot of mistakes from this other end. So we have different varieties of watermelon seeds, but with me over here I choose to grow Sukari F1, which is highly doing better at this situation of this climate factor over here, because with us we always receive rain frequently, and of course on the other end drought. So Sukari F1 is the one that we have the variety of watermelons over here. I don't know maybe where you'll be growing, or if you have ever grown watermelons. Let us know at the comment section which type or variety did you grow actually at your land. With us over here we have, it's called Sukari F1, and this is what you see that we are having over here. So the fruits are big, as you see. They are doing very better right now, as you see on this other side. Actually, when we were growing these watermelons, this variety doesn't need you to start nursing by maybe by doing what you call like putting them in the nursery bed, or maybe trying to transplant them. This one, the only first factor is when you put on the soil, you have to make sure that your land is made into furrows and heaps. That the moment you have to do this, you have to plant them by doing some alternation. So you plant one seed, another seed on the other side, and this one over here. So in a few weeks after they have germinated, we did what you call like spraying some chemicals to avoid some fungal diseases and also pests that always eat them, and also to make them facilitate the growth of this Sukari F1 watermelons. They are drought that really brought us down. There were no rains, so we had to do what we call like do physically from the river. The happiness finally. Finally the water is there. Okay, so you see it's coming from here all the way to the machine. Amekata the dreamland. Another major key of growing watermelons is adequate watering of the watermelons. This may lead to the stagnant growth of your watermelons. Reason number one, watch this video to the end, and of course you know why we are doing this. And also a lot of overwatering may need to do what you call like burning of your watermelons to whittling and also do other stuff. So you have to have a key balance of watering these watermelons. In terms of watering techniques, watermelons needs about 1 inch of water per week, either from rainfall or irrigation. It is also important to avoid getting water on the leaves or fruits to prevent fungal diseases. As you see on old leaves, melon does so much strong sunlight, and also some fungal disease, so you have to do hand picking instead of maybe spraying and doing anything, because that's when it can lead to maybe too much water or a lot of sunlight. So for you to destroy them, you have to do the really hand picking, and this you have to do an eye keeping for each and every watermelon every single day, so you're checking them, looking on how they are. So tiring, but you have to do and deal with it. Another major factor here is another which you call pollination. Pollination is where a male flower pollinates the female flower, and also this plays a major role in doing what you call like helping the pollination of the flowers and also the watermelons to produce fruits. This is the most critical situation. Number one is where bees and other pollinators, you have to do what you call like to create a very suitable environment for them to do what you call like help in pollination of this. So if you do be doing what you call like spraying some chemicals and also killing them, putting some traps, this will really drive away what you call like some pollinators like bees and other pollinators. So you have to do to play a very major role, because these pollinators like bees play a very crucial role while doing what you call like helping on the watermelons to produce very juicy and into fruiting, so you have also to do what you call like to create a suitable environment for them. Like number one, do not spray your chemicals during the day when the sunset. Ooh, look at that sunset, oh my god. Yee! And the plants are just smiling. Look at that sunset. Oh my god. Oh, nice. I know there's some people who usually miss some sunsets. Is where a lot of bees are coming, humming around the what you call like the flowers and doing the pollination. Most of the pollination happens during the day. So if you do some chemicals, that will also go through the flowers, so the bees won't be suitable to suck on the chemicals. So the better way is to do spraying of the chemicals at the evening time. At this point of the year, of the hour, actually we are here with True Boy, and he wanna be telling us maybe some of the factors to consider while growing what you call like watermelons or other places on this other side.
Yeah, me, factors to consider what I know about watermelon. Sometimes it's all about spacing. One spacing with slopey all hill. We consider what I know because I started agriculture. It's all about 5 feet, but already you've already planted. But I'm sure that's the factor that we considered before that. And also there is what we call like mulching. Mulching it helps the crop for not with contact with the soil, so it makes the watermelon to be fresh. And I think, and on the other side we also have what we call like sunlight. At least watermelon needs at most 6 to 8 hours for it maybe to grow very well and to produce good fruits. That's what I know about watermelon, guys. Thank you.
Well, nice. That's one of the great artists, because also I have to do some researches, and from this research that I've done, I have also to ask some of the guys around me who have done it successful, and also on this other end to just feel like how is it successful to this grouping and collecting data about watermelons. Let's hear this again from another guy about this watermelon growing. All right, another great guy over here can tell us about types of factors to consider while growing watermelons.
Guys, I'm Moses, and I've been asked to talk something about the factors to consider when growing watermelon. Based on the knowledge that I have, watermelons thrive well in a well-drained soil. So when you're talking of a soil, it should be well-drained, especially loamy soils that will necessitate the growth of these watermelon. And on top of the well-drained loamy soil, the soil should contain huge amount of the organic matter. So that means if the soil does not contain organic matter, you need to supply them And the supplement that you require the things like the organic manure, which will enable the soil to gain a lot of organic matter for the watermelons to grow, mostly during the flowering and also the fruit formation periods. Another factor that you should put into consideration is that watermelons requires water. So moisture availability is also a very important factor that should be put into consideration when you are planting or growing this watermelon for successful harvest. So that means an area that while you want to plant these watermelons, you should consider the season where there is a plenty of rainfall. At least you should receive a maximum of let me say 2100 millimeters of rainfall per the growing season. Another consideration is also the light. Watermelons requires at least a direct sunlight for 6 to 8 hours a day for them to produce the fruits. And you know, light is essential for several processes in a plant. For example, photosynthesis. For it to produce the fruits, it requires photosynthesis, which is a requirement during the process of photosynthesis, that is the light. So those are also some of the factors that I understand about the watermelon growth.
As a watermelon is a water-loving plant, the main challenge on this land, what could we do? No rain, no river around, but the only way we could do is hire a machine that can help us pump water, and this is how we did it. The happiness finally all the way to the machine. The guy is very happy. Yeah. Yoo-hoo. I wanna power At this point we were doing a mistake. Why? We were doing some irrigation, and the irrigation was just a manual irrigation. At some point we were like, let it be, because now the drought was making us feel like we are going to lose. So we were having this stitch of time to just save the plants. Reason being, we were doing it manually. And of course it depends, you know, watermelon is a water loving plant, and of course it has to receive a 1 inch of water in every week. So we were like, if we continue leaving them this, they wanna dry up, so we have to do a manual pumping of water. But we were doing a wrong thing. Of course, they always say when you spray water or when you do some irrigation, whether it's for rainfall, which is well known about rainfall, but the one that you're doing for irrigation, it might be causing pests and fungal diseases. So we are doing a lot of what we call like trial, so that we cannot sprinkle or spray water on the leaves. Reason being, the moment you sprinkle or get water on top of the leaves, it might cause the falling of the flowers. Second, it might cause fungal diseases. So for us to avoid this, we are doing what we call like putting water into the trenches of every line of the watermelons, so that we can try this to save the watermelons. Oh. At this point, we are doing what we call like setting up some pest traps, which means these are some insects and pest traps, which means, you know, at this point the watermelons are at fruiting stage, and when they're at the fruiting stage, the way you see at this point, we are receiving some better watermelons varieties and great varieties of watermelons. So for you to receive great and better yields, you have to set up some insect traps, because the what we call like the major challenge on these watermelon fruits, we have a melon fly which really come and bite or pies on the watermelon, and it breeds inside the watermelon and eventually it dies.
So the moment it dies, it has breeded inside the watermelon. So it leaves the insects inside the watermelon growing, grow, and eventually your watermelon start to rot, or it has a wintering or started growth. So for us to avoid that, we had also to do manual traps, which you see over here. We have a yellow cape, which this one really helps us to do what we call like yellow really attracts the insects. So the moment it comes inside here, we have set what we call like ethanol and cotton, and some attractive scent that is inside here. And of course, as you see inside, we have a lot of insects. Those are called like melon flies. So you have also to set all the way around here on the part, because they really love yellow. So the moment they come in, they are being trapped by the ethanol, and then they eventually die. So that's one of the major challenges that you have to overcome while doing this over here. Easy bro, easy, pole. Guys, now we are doing what we call like pumping water on our watermelon. I'm here with Mr. Mason Mwenge. Yeah. Hey, he's also helping with us over here. And Mwita_Adventures. He's
amazing guys.
Look at that.
You brought water.
Yeah. Pole, weka chini.
I want to pour it. I'm entering water.
Yeah. So guys, this is what you see, what we are doing. We are trying to do pole.
Oh yeah, slowly.
Unajua kama ikilaza hapo juu hivyo, yakienda hadi kwa mwisho, ndio turudi tuone na hii side nyingine. At this point, we are doing what we call like setting up some pest traps, which means these are some insects and pest traps, which means, you know, at this point the watermelons are at fruiting stage, and when they're at the fruiting stage, the way you see at this point, we are receiving some better watermelons varieties and great varieties of watermelons. So for you to receive great and better yields, you have to set up some insect traps, because they what we call like the major challenge on these watermelon fruits, we have a melon fly which really come and bite or pies on the watermelon, and it breeds inside the watermelon, and eventually it dies. So the moment it dies, it has breeded inside the watermelon, so it leaves the insects inside the watermelon growing, grow, and eventually your watermelon start to rot, or it has a wintering or started growth. So for us to avoid that, we had also to do manual traps, which you see over here. We have a yellow cape, which this one really helps us to do what we call like yellow really attracts the insects. So the moment it comes inside here, we have set what we call like ethanol and cotton, and some attractive scent that is inside here. And of course, as you see inside, we have a lot of insects. Those are called like melon flies. So you have also to set all the way around here on the part, because they really love yellow. So the moment they come in, they are being trapped by the ethanol, and then they eventually die. So that's one of the major challenges that you have to overcome while doing this over here. Finally, blessings, guys. Hey, I'm here. Feeling the first rain over here actually. I'm so much happy being rained on for the first rain after a very long time. Now we are here, at least our watermelons. From here we'll be taking you to our dreamland. So we'll be checking on our watermelons, how they're faring on. But for now, home. Look how it is. It's raining, man. Dogs and cats. It's a very nice, efficient grace. No? Much sufficient grace by Almighty God. It's raining right now. Over here. Over here. Who is around here?
Wow, so nice. So after too much rain we received, so we came back to our land, because right now what we are doing, it's hand picking, weeding, which you cannot do it by a djembe or a hoe. Reason being, for now, we are at the fruiting and flowering stage, in which if the moment you try to tamper with the fruits, you'll end up getting a big lose. So the only way for you to kill the weeds is by uprooting them or doing hand picking, as you see all the way. So this is so tiring, but we really have to do it. And also looking at inspecting some fruits, because right now it's so cold because it got rained so much. So the only way is to do some inspection of the fruits and see which were damaged to remove them. And also we keep on doing what you call like the hand picking of this.
Generally, watermelons takes 60 to 80 days from sowing the seeds to mature, or for to it mature, because you always have to do what you like, generalize it, doing the other things. But in summary, we have Mr. Moses here can share with us about some factors. Also, he's a farmer like us, and also he can impact knowledge towards us about the watermelons growing.
Okay, so this is a brief summary for those young people who are intending to carry out farming majorly on watermelon. So basically, based on how this process began from land preparation up to where it is now, find that the management skills is very high also. The capital investment is very high based on how to prepare the land. You know, watermelon seeds are very tiny, so they require well prepared land. You can talk of a smooth or the fine texture for it to grow. When you come to planting, also require labor, maintenance such as disease control, pest control, and early we say that watermelons require moisture, constant supply of moisture. Therefore, during dry period, you find it difficult to this watermelon to grow without irrigation. So that one forces you to dig deeper into the pocket for you to apply the artificial irrigation, where you require to uproot water from any source. And as you can look around, we have a water source that is very far. Therefore, you require huge capital for you to generate water from the river up to here for the irrigation purposes. Again, pest control. As you know that pests are everywhere, and in this ecosystem you cannot fail to find the pests. So for example, we can talk of the white flies that attacks these watermelons. So they bite the watermelons, leaving pores, and these pores are the source of disease transmissions. So for you to harvest high yield, you need to control these pests, and they require huge capital, because to purchase the pesticides requires a huge amount of money for you to purchase. Also, weeds are also another factors that hinder the development of these watermelons. They compete with the watermelons for several resources, and now if you assume, then the yields will decline, and now you have to ensure there is maximum control of these pests and diseases. So those are only the, some of the consideration that you should put into consideration, and you can look at some of the factors which we have discussed earlier. Then if you meet them, then this is a profitable entity that you can take in. So we encourage those who are ready to undertake this enterprise to do so, but they should be ready to spend more on it. Yet it is profitable, but management is the key for it to success. So my brother, you can pick on.
Yeah, actually on this time, thank you so much for the educational summary of growing watermelons. And of course, guys, check him is Mr. Moses over here. He just came to share with us some knowledge about growing a successful, bountiful watermelon, juicy watermelon. So on this other end, if you find this information helpful, kindly don't forget to click on the subscription button, and also on the other end, turn on the notification bell so that you'll be able to be notified in each and every single day when we put up our daily vlogs. So show some love at the comment section down below. Let us know what you think about this information. Of course, if you have left something in out, let us know at the comment section. Thank you so much. Be blessed all. You can also grow your juicy watermelons just right at the backyard by this great information. Thank you so much, and bye bye, guys.